Press.
Almighty God, who in thy wisdom and goodness has appointed the office of ruler and parliament for the welfare of society and just government of men, we beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor of thy servants, whom thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this land. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this house assembled. Grant us that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner to promote thy honor and glory, to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country, and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our charge.
Communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I welcome you all to the first extraordinary session of the National Assembly in the 2025 legislative year. Honorable members, this sitting is summoned pursuant to Section 98(1)(a) and 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997, and Order 11.3c of the Standing Orders of the National Assembly, as requested by more than one quarter of members of the Assembly, dated 8 May 2025. Considering the said provisions of the law, as presiding officer, I had no option but to convene a sitting of the Assembly within 7 days of the request from me. Thus, the reason for our assembly here today. Before us today is a motion of considerable public and national interest. A motion seeking the establishment of a special select committee of this honorable assembly to inquire into all matters relating to the sale and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealings with former President Yahya A.J.J. Jammeh and connected matters. This motion is brought against the backdrop of widespread public concern regarding the handling, management, and disposal of assets linked to the former head of state. As representatives of the people and custodians of democratic accountability, it is incumbent upon this assembly to act in a manner that promotes transparency, upholds good governance, and ensures that due process is followed in all matters of public interest. The proposed committee will be tasked with investigating the procedures and reasons surrounding the sale and disposal of said assets, examining whether the actions taken were in compliance with the law, due process, reasonable, and making recommendations as necessary to this assembly. Honorable members, this initiative is not only consistent with our legitimate oversight mandate, but is also in line with the expectations of Gambian people who demand accountability and integrity in the management of public affairs. I therefore urge all of us, honorable members, to approach the deliberations of this motion with due seriousness and national commitment. The outcome of this process has the potential to reinforce public trust in our institutions and to provide much needed clarity on a matter that has lingered for too long. May wisdom, integrity, and patriotism guide us all in this endeavor. On that note, honorable members, let me once again welcome you all to the sitting of the first extraordinary session of the National Assembly in the 2025 legislative year. Honorable members, I hope you all have a copy of the said motion. I thank you. Clerk, may we proceed?
Correction and approval of records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Friday, 28 March 2025.
Honorable members, the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Friday, 28 March 2025 is before us for correction and approval. Can any honorable member please move that the said record of votes and proceedings be considered and approved? Honorable member for Sabak Sanya.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to move that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Friday, 28 March 2025 be corrected and approved.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Sabak Sanya. Any seconder honorable members? Honorable Member for Sani Mentre.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I like to second the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Sani Mentre. It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Friday, 28 March 2025 be considered and approved. Honorable members, we all have copies of the said record of votes and proceedings. And as usual, we look through it page by page to be followed by your comments and observations. We begin on page 1. No comments. We move to page 2, honorable members. Honorable members, we can now move to page 3. Honorable members, we now move to page 4. Honorable member for Nyanja.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Page 4, motion without notice, order 53E and 68-2. I will say Jawara, member for Lower Salum, in accordance. I think there is something missing, because if you look at the order 68-2, reference is made to members of the ABC to move such kind of motion, and I think it should reflect in this. That I will Seni Jawara, member for Lower Salum, or member of the ABC, whatever, move the motion in accordance with this order.
suggesting, you are saying we indicate that it's member of APC and not member of Kosan.
No, you
Kosan.
yes, you can have both.
We can have, but you want it to be
Yeah, ABC, member of the
as an
executive
ABC
member,
member.
because that's what the standing order is saying. Thank you.
I don't think we have any, I have no, any objection to that. No, because by the standing orders, it's only members of the ABC who can move the motion. So it's already understood now, whoever is moving the motion will be a member of the ABC. But there is no harm in indicating that Honorable Sen Jawara, member of the ABC and member for Lower Sal. It's good. It makes it more explicit. I think the table office will note that down. Huh? Any more? Yara Central.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On page 4, just right on the paragraph that the member for Nyanya was reading, the second line, 68 to move a motion for the bill entitled Waste Management Bill 2024 to be committed to the select committee. That to after the 2024 should be deleted so that it can read the Management Bill 2024 be committed to the select committee on environment, sustainable development, and it continues. So let's delete the to.
Is to delete the to.
Yes, after the 2020.
And then, so I continue from 2024, be committed. Honorable members' comments? We are in agreement. Okay? Noted? Thank you, Honorable Member for Jara Central. Any more on page 4? Honorable members, we move to page 5. Honorable members, we can now move to page 6. Honorable members, we now move to page 7. Honorable member for Sabak Sanjar.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. At 50, if you look at the suspension and resumption of the Assembly, Order 13, where you have Assembly at 57 minutes after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the Honorable Speaker suspended the Assembly for prayers until 15 minutes after 5 o'clock. Should it be in the afternoon or there is no need to add that? Because if you look at the last line, you are addressing it that the Assembly resumed after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So one reading it might think 5 o'clock there might be in the morning or afternoon. So we have to just qualify the statement there to say in the afternoon. Thank you.
After 5, it will definitely be evening. So you want us to add in the evening? Yes, Parliamentary.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. But I think mentioning the word iftar clarifies everything. Because once you have iftar, we break at iftar. And I don't think it will be necessary to add afternoon again. Because once we break for iftar, that shows that after 5 o'clock is already the evening or the afternoon. Thank you.
We are is on page 7, last page down, where you have suspension and resumption for the 13. That's where we are. Good. So we now have any more on page 7. We move to page 8. Same thing. Honorable members, we now move to page 9. No more comments? Huh? Bakau?
Yes, at the bottom where you have at 55 minutes after 2 o'clock in the morning. It should be in the afternoon instead in the morning. Okay, yeah.
Honorable member Bakau, are you in agreement? Huh? Oh, you are seated today. Oh, okay. Honorable member of Parliamentary.
Thank you again, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, I think already the precedents that we've set is by using, for example, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, so on and so forth. But then using AM or PM as just what has just happened to Honorable Member from Macau. I think the precedent that we've set, we can continue with that by using o'clock instead of AM or PM. So what do we do about that? I think we should continue with the precedents that we've already set. Thank you.
We have created precedents. If precedents are right, you don't change them. But when you have better ones, you change it. We have just discussed, I've just discussed with the Honorable, with the table office, that following the honorable member for Serekunda West interjection, it is now going to be very easy for us. Instead of using afternoon, morning, just use the PM and AM. That clears everything out. Any more questions on that? On page 9. No more questions. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sittings of Friday, 28 March 2025 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, may we proceed?
Motion pursuant to section 192 of the 1997 Constitution and order 955 of the Standing Orders, be it resolved that this August Assembly do consider and approve the establishment of a special select committee to inquire into all matters relating to the sale and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealing with former President Yahya A.J. Jammeh and connected matters by Honorable Bileji Tunkara, member of the Committee of Selection.
Honorable members, may I now invite the Honorable Member for Kantora, who doubles as the Majority Leader and a member of the Committee of Selection, to table this motion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to a motion for the establishment of a special select committee to inquire into the sales and disposals of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of the public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards to they are dealing with former President Yahya A.J. Jammeh and connected matters. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Section 109, Subclause 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997, and Orders 95, Subclause 5 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I move that this August Assembly do consider and approve the establishment of a special select committee to inquire into the sale and disposal of assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of the public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealing with former President Yahya A.J. Jammeh and connected matters herein referred as the Commission. Preamble. Whereas the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997, and the National Assembly Standing Orders empower the Assembly to exercise scrutiny or oversight over the executive and ensure transparency and accountability in governance. Whereas public concern continues to grow regarding the processes, legal framework, and accountability mechanisms involved in identification, sales, and disposal of all assets identified by the Commission. Whereas the Commission was established by the Executive to investigate the financial dealing and assets of former President Yahya A.J. Jammeh and his close associates. Whereas the Commission undertook a thorough inquiry into and submitted a detailed report to government. identifying numerous movable and immovable assets that were either unlawfully acquired or controlled by the former president during his tenure. Whereas in pursuant to the Commission findings and recommendations, certain assets were forfeited to the state and subsequently disposed of or sold through processes initiated by authorities and institutions designated or assigned by the government. Whereas the general public consider the government has not sufficiently disclosed the manner in followed the value realized from the sales as well as the identities of the purchasers. And whereas the National Assembly must respond to matters of public importance, concern or interest, and ensure that due process, public accountability, and rule of law are upheld. Now, therefore, this Honorable Assembly resolved to establish a special select committee, hereafter referred as the committee, pursuant to section 109, surplus 2 of the Constitution, and orders 95, surplus 5 of the National Assembly standing orders, to inquire into the sale and disposal of assets identified by the Commission and forfeited to the state. Mandate the committee to conduct a full, impartial, and independent inquiry and report its findings and recommendations to this Assembly within a period not exceeding 120 days from the date of its first sitting. Empower the committee to summon any person, institution, or entity it deems necessary to assist in the discharge of its mandate. Empower the committee at any time to request for the appointment by the clerk of any individual with special qualification to act as advisors at its sittings. But the appointed individuals shall not be entitled to a vote on any matter of decision by the committee. Authorize the committee to call for and inspect all books, records, agreements, official communication, returns, reports, and other documents relevant to the inquiry. Empower the clerk of the National Assembly to designate or temporarily appoint a small corps of technical staff to assist the committee in gathering information, make research and analysis on issues pertinent to the committee's deliberation and recommendations, and prepare committee's final report. Grant leave to the committee to sit even during a session or recess periods of the Assembly. Composition. The composition of the committee. The committee shall consist of 7 members. 7 National Assembly members. Membership shall reflect political balance and gender inclusivity as far as practicable. Members shall be nominated by the Committee of Selection in accordance to Order 96, surplus 1C of the National Assembly Standing Orders. Terms of reference of the committee. The committee shall be guided by, but not limited to, the following terms. 1. Inquire into the list of assets identified by the Commission and determine which assets were sold, transferred, or otherwise disposed of. 2. Investigate the legal and administrative processes used in the disposal of the said assets, including the authority under which they were sold. Assess whether all action taken in accordance with the laws of the Gambia, particularly laws and policies relating to procurement, anti-corruption, and public finance. Examine the valuation, pricing, and procurement method used to determine assets, values, and identify any discrepancies or undervaluation. Investigate whether the valuations and sales were transparent, competitive, and in the interest. and corporate entities, assessing whether the proper procedures were followed, office, or procedural regularities occur. Proceeds generated from the asset disposal, whether such funds were properly deposited in public accounts, including the National Treasury and any special account. Wherever discrepancies of a criminal or fraudulent nature are discovered during the inquiry, immediately cause a report to those findings to be submitted to the Inspector General of Police for further necessary action. Recommend appropriate remedial and preventive measures, including legal or administrative redress, reform in policy and laws, as well as appropriate institutional reform. Support staff. The clerk shall designate or appoint from among the staff of the National Assembly Service such personnel with the required competence to serve the committee, which shall include the Legal Affairs Department as the lead of the investigation and fact-finding process. 2, the clerk may temporarily appoint such other persons with the required competency to support the committee in its works. And 3, the support staff shall collect and compile all relevant documentations for review by the committee, conduct preliminary background investigation, due diligence and analysis, coordinate the scheduling of and logistics of public hearing and witness appearances, maintain record of proceedings and manage evidence, organize and conduct public hearings, prepare progress reports and interim findings, prepare the committee's final report under the guidance of the committee, report timelines and auxiliary matters. The committee shall commence work within 7 days of its establishment. The committee shall submit its final report to the National Assembly no less than 120 days, that's 4 months, from the date of its first sitting, unless the mandate of the committee is extended by a resolution of the Assembly. 3, reports shall include detail of all fact findings, legal and procedural analysis of all evidence before the committee, record of evidence received, and finally, conclusions and recommendations, including actions to be taken by regional authority. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Majority Leader and Member for Controller. Honorable members, any seconder? Honorable Member for Lower Salon.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion. And Honorable Speaker, if you could allow me to move a motion as a member of ABC Committee, I rise orders 61-2 for members to debate for 5 minutes each on the motion.
Honorable Member for Lower Salon, you can go ahead and second the motion tabled by the Honorable Majority Leader. From there, you can come up with a motion for it. Pardon? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Member for Lower Salo.
Observation.
Observation.
Honorable, when the motion was moved, I never asked for a seconder. What happened was, when the motion was moved, I saw tax raised up. So those that I want to know why their tax are up before I call for the seconder on the motion. Yes, Honorable Member for Central Body.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, after the motion been seconded, you should put it to vote. Then another motion can come for the time, but you cannot join the two motions together. It's not the process. It's not the process of the procedure. No. I'm going. Please calm down. I'm not referring to.
Yes, Honorable Member for Central Body. You know what the Mandingas call global bala babula duol. You know? Yes, it's correct that when the first motion was tabled, we should put a question. But it's also good enough when a motion, the same person moved seconded the motion and moved a motion, we listen to the motion, second it, and I put the question for this and that one. So it's not a different person. The one who seconded this motion is the same person who raised the other motion.
When 3 falls on 3, 3 the first one. The last one, forget about it.
Yeah, that is true. That's what we are going to do. After all these things, we are going to put the motion for the question for this one, and then for this one. We are not going to take from the top and go down. So, honorable members, yes, now there is a motion, and then honorable member for Nyanija, I think you want to second the motion. No, I have not accepted that secondment, because there was no time I asked for the secondment. I asked him to wait until we clear out what the observations and comments were. So, honorable member, can you now second the motion?
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Observation,
Honorable Speaker.
My time has been up for a long time.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Honorable Member for Lower Salo. Thank you.
Members, I will now put the question for the first motion, tabled by the Honorable Majority Leader and Member for Controller. Who is that? It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the establishment of a special select committee to inquire into all matters relating to the sale and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealings with former President Yahya A.J. Jammeh and connected matters. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put the question for the second motion, raised by the Honorable Member for Lower Salo, who is also a member of the ABC committee. That it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the time, do consider to put a time limit on the forthcoming debate and limit it to 5 minutes for each member. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Who is ARK division? For you, yes. All right. Honorable members, those in favor of the motion, raise your hands. Those in favor of the motion, raise. Members, those not in favor, raise your hands. Honorable members, abstentions. Those abstaining, no abstention. Honorable members, the results. Those in favor, 29. Those against, 14. Abstention, 0. The ayes have it. Honorable members, now the motion has been moved and seconded. We now go into the debate. Honorable members, please. We now go into the debate. I have a list of members who wish to take part. But the honorable member for Lower Salum, you seconded the motion. Do you want to partake in the debate? If you want to partake in the debate, we begin with you. If I were you, I was going to second the motion and participate so that you will not be time. But now, if you are participating now, you will be time.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Yes, I will allow the debate to continue. I'm listening, but the reason why I do it, I want to limit myself to the 5 minutes. Because if I go beyond 5 minutes and I raise motions again, I know members will begin to complain about it. So this is why I said the truth.
It means you want to be seen to be just and straightforward. Congratulations. And so you can now take the floor.
I'll come later.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Please. Order. Honorable member, Lower Sal, you want to come later. It's your choice.
Honorable Speaker.
Because your name is not on the list.
Thank you very much. I
I
don't
know
my
the list I have, but I know you seconded the motion. Without debate, I would have loved to give you preference to debate first, but if you choose to come later, it's your choice. Honorable member for Latin.
Yeah, what I want us to clear, we have a...
Sorry, hold on. Honorable members, please, I will serve your name, and if that is not a problem, I will ask more. That will be a problem. All right. Yes, honorable member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. What I want us to be very sure, we have a certain practice here. That is, if a member is called upon, he or she get up to speak. Now, but if you say that the person have choice to either speak at the time you call him or later, give us the law in the standing order, please.
Honorable member, I don't know, sometimes I get worried when we give the floor. A party can second the motion just by rising up and say, I second the motion, and sit down. He can come and participate at any time. That is the standard anywhere you go in the world. No, it's not a simple practice. No, honorable member of Latin, please, don't talk by yourself. I ask you to, I get you the floor, we listen to you, listen to us also. If you want to talk to me again. But what I'm saying is, members choose to second the motion and continue to take the floor. That's their right. You can second the motion and sit down, and then you participate in debate. So there is nothing like that. If you choose so, as he did, he could second and continue. He could just stand up and second the motion, sit down, and if he chooses to participate in debate anytime, he can do it. Please, I now invite the honorable member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. No, I will set the tune, inshallah. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the floor. And I want to take this opportunity to equally thank the Honorable Majority Leader for every table in this motion. But, Honorable Speaker, first of all, I have an observation. I have an observation. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member, I think the screen has a problem. I was made to understand. We will time you from our own here. Pardon? He said what? I will give you the right to time us if you will not participate. Then you cannot time anybody. All right? So, honorable members, you will be timed by the table orders. Please. Okay, honorable member for Nyanija.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I only hope my timing begins now. Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what we are dealing with is a matter of public concern and, of course, public importance. It is true that there are some precedents, there are some events that preceded to this important gathering here today, but I want to be on record to say that the National Assembly, of course, have taken the right decision and, of course, at the right time. It is not easy to call for an extraordinary session, but due to the prevailing circumstances, members come among ourselves and then noting the importance of this, so we summon an extraordinary session by, of course, using the constitutional provisions. I want to thank the Majority Leader for ably bringing the request, and of course all members who sign in the request, because him alone he cannot make this possible. Members have to partake. But I want to ask, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Majority Leader is moving this motion as a member of the Committee of Selection, or as a Majority Leader, or as a member of Kantora. Because what I'm seeing here is heavily moved by a member for Honorable Vileji Tungara, member of the Committee of Selection. I want to know how the request was made to the Office of the Clerk so that it can be in accordance with the motion. So thank you very much. On that note, Honorable Speaker, moving on to the preamble, whereas you have subclause 2, where it says, sorry, subclause 3, where it said, whereas the commission was established by the executive. For that one, I think there needs to be some corrections that that commission which we are referring to, that's the Jana Commission, was established by the President using the section 200. I think that it will be mentioned. So, subclause 5 on the motion, of course, where it mentioned on the later part, movable assets that were either unlawfully acquired or controlled by the former President during his tenure. Control here, I am not comfortable with this word, because what we are dealing with issues of legality and of course issues of assets. Control in what sense? Because President, I can say, I am controlling this mic here, or somebody's controlling something somewhere. What do you want to tell us here? So moving on, Honorable Speaker, on to page 2 on the motion, whereas it is A, subclause A on page 2, it is referencing the pursuant to section 109 of the 1997 Constitution. I think that should also be reflected there. And then where it's identified by the Commission. I think here we are referring to the Joint Commission, so we need to specify this. I know. So, Honorable Speaker, moving on to page 3.
Nyania?
Yes.
You are correct. Where are you making the correction? You said where?
A. Subclause A.
Subclause A on which page?
Page 2. Establish a special select committee, hereafter referred to as the committee, pursuant to section 109(2) of the 1997 Constitution. So here also later on it is referred to as standing orders to inquire into the sale and disposal of assets identified by the, I think it should be the Joint Commission. We have to be specific. Of course, it is defined here in the preamble. Maybe that will suffice, the legal mind will say, but
by the commission should be the Ghana Commission, you mean?
Of course, because that's what we are dealing with here.
No, but I think there was a portion where it says the Ghana Commission to be referred to as the commission.
Even in the definition, I think commission only wouldn't suffice as far as I'm concerned. Let's mention these details. Let's say
no, honorable.
That is my opinion.
When you mention the full name of the commission, and now you say hereafter call the commission, it means anywhere you see the commission is that full name of the commission. You don't need to be repeating the full name of the commission. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. We can be in agreement, but as far as I'm concerned,
observations.
Observation. Honorable member for Nyanija, are you ready?
Mike is not.
Put it on and continue.
Observation. Nyanija. Observation.
No, Haral, Jama Amutfi, Haral.
Observation.
Observation, Janjambure.
Honorable member for Janjambure, whom are you observing? Honorable Kamara's time has expired. He's no more. But what I'm saying is, it's not for me. He can ignore you. This is what I'm saying. It's not for me to grant you that permission. It's for the person who has taken the floor to allow that. If he can see you and ignore you. No, he cannot give you the floor when his time is no more.
Speaker, just give.
Honorable, the next one is Honorable
Honorable Speaker.
nominated, somebody is talking. Honorable nominated member, Keba Lamfofana.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will start by saying a big kudos to the Majority Leader and all members of this August Assembly for coming forth and giving our blessings to this very important motion. The importance of the motion cannot be overemphasized, and by virtue of the fact that we have limited time, I'll go straight into the substance of my debate. Honorable Speaker, I will refer you to page 1 of the motion, where I have some observations and some concerns. Page 1, I refer you to the 5th sentence, where we have this phrase, assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry. Honorable Speaker,
Sorry, page 1.
page 1, I'm referring you to the 5th sentence, which, yes, 5th line
Of the first part, okay.
of the first paragraph, which starts with the word disposal. And I will read, disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry. Honorable Speaker, I believe if we do not qualify this phrase and we leave it as it is, it will serve as a limiting factor and further impede the scope and mandate of the committee we are about to establish. Honorable Speaker, why I'm saying this is, first, the committee must establish in full how much were the assets of the former president. The committee must equally establish how much was accounted for. Naturally, the gap will be the unaccounted one before going into the procedures. But if we limit the committee into the assets that were only identified by the Janneh Commission, what about the assets that were not identified? And to qualify this further, Honorable Speaker, I will refer the Assembly to the white paper that was issued by the government on page 2, paragraph 4. I will read paragraph 4, 5, and 6 to qualify why we need to really improve on the scope of the committee. Paragraph 4 reads, or let me go to paragraph 3. It was discovered that bank accounts were opened into which paid by members of public and intended for state were directly controlled and expended by the former president Yahya on his instructions. Are we sure that the bank accounts that were listed by the Janneh Commission reflect in totality so that which was owned by the former president? Honorable Speaker, paragraph 5 reads, it was also discovered that former President Jammeh, during his tenure in office, has accumulated at least 101 known landed properties registered in his name or in companies and foundations in which he has shares or an interest, and that he operates at least private bank accounts directly or through aforementioned companies or foundations. 7 reads, based on this preliminary report, President Barrow deemed it in the public interest to launch an inquiry into the financial and other activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealings with former President Jammeh. Honorable Speaker, the Janneh Commission report is now public knowledge. And as an institution, we know that there are limitations. Since we will be in an inquiry, we will not preempt our own inquiry. But what I'm simply trying to say is, we need to qualify the assets identified. If not, we will limit the scope of the committee. And Honorable Speaker, the other clarification I have is on page 2 of the motion itself. Page 2A. That is establishment of the committee and the TOR. The TOR is giving the committee 120 days to report back to the committee. And what the committee intends to do, my fervent belief that 120 days would not be sufficient. 180 avoid the issue of of coming back to this plenary and asking for an extension. We need investigations, we need to get witness statements, and eventually, the most important thing is, the report that should be tabled here should be...
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you. I now invite Honorable Member for Ilyasa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, let me first thank the mover of this motion for coming up with this good initiative. Honorable Speaker, all what we want to know concerning this very important motion is that the process of selling and the disposal of the forfeited items. So that is very important. This is what we want to know as far as the Gambia is concerned, because people are crying as far as how the disposal was done. Definitely, this is a problem to the Gambian people. So this is what we want to know: how they sell these items and the disposal as well. Honorable Speaker, I want a clarification here. It seems that all the items, especially the vehicles, were scrapped. So my question is whether there were usable vehicles among the items. So
observation.
All right.
Observation.
So yes.
Let me observe.
No, excuse me. So, Honorable Speaker, I think I want to raise my case here, and I want to wait until the proper time when we will be ready to, yes. Thank you.
Honorable members, we must get something very clear. There are no audited reports to the Assembly about how the assets were managed or mismanaged. There were no investigations into the process. All what we heard or we see or we believe is allegations. Now we are establishing a special select committee to investigate into the allegations and come here with the facts. So we give the responsibility of the trust to the select committee, who will do the job and they will bring out the facts. Please note that. I now invite the Honorable Member for Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I join my colleagues to give my blessing for the establishment of this special select committee to look into the affairs as mentioned in this paper. Honorable Speaker, before going forward, I think it is necessary for us to make or lay a preamble to this discussion. We register our profound respect to the Republic whose efforts have led us to this moment, and also our determined youths who resilience and steadfastness have enabled us, the National Assembly, to call for this extraordinary session. In this regard, we may not dwell into the nitty-gritties of this issue. All what we need, we have prayers before us, and we are coming to establish a committee who should look into the issues pertaining to these prayers and furnish us with these issues. There and then, the report will be laid before this August Assembly, and we'll go into the detail of a detailed discussion of these issues. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I also see the composition of the committee. Okay, if you look at this composition of the committees, it's talking about the political membership too. Memberships that reflect political balance and gender inclusivity as per practicable. If you look at this composition, how the selections will be targeting the political party actors in this, to me, it may not be fair. What I suggest is for us to look at, we have a caucus. You have the majority caucus and the minority caucus. These selected members will be drawn from this caucus to represent us. Even though I know it is in tandem with our standing order, but then this is my prayers. On that note, I thank Honorable Speaker for giving me this opportunity to register my appreciation.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Busumbala. I now invite the Honorable Member for Bakau.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, the topic before us is well overdue, in the sense that this August body have been requesting the list and bias of the assets of the former President Jammeh. But all along, when such demands come from members of this august body, the ministry responsible never responded or give deaf ear to our call. But when our young, committed Gambians come together to mobilize one another and raise their voice to our call that has never been considered. Today we are gathered here because of the call from our young men and women, of which we should say thank you very much for your effort. We are gathered here today because of your effort. Without your effort, our voice was never heard by the sitting government. So we thank you very much for your concern. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, on page 3 of your motion, Honorable Speaker, terms of reference of the committee: number 1, inquire into the list of assets identified by the Commission and determine which assets were sold, transferred, or otherwise disposed of. Honorable Speaker, in my view, I believe we should not only limit our inquiry into the identified assets, because according to Janet Commission's report, there are some other assets which were sold and were never indicated in their report. So I'll give up my recommendation for the committee to go beyond the identified assets only. I have another concern that is just been mentioned by the Honorable Member for Busumbala. When you talk of the composition of the committee, it's talking of political pluralism, of which I believe will not be fair to other political parties. We have the majority camp, that is the ruling party camp. You have more than 15 members. We have the minority camp, almost 15. We have other political parties that are 2. We have the independent. We have the independent. So when we want to have one from each of these parties, we are talking of gender as well. Honorable Speaker, I want the Assembly to look into that composition. On that note, I thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Bakau. I now invite the Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I thank the mover of the motion, but I'm cautious for thanking him until I know his intent. I further interrogate his intent of this. Honorable Speaker, first I have to premise this rightly and effectively under a correct history. History, to me, before I thought it's only the study of important past events. Until a few weeks ago, I read a judgment by one judge at the Supreme Court of Ghana, who beautifully defined history as series of arguments to be debated and not a data recorded or sets of facts to be memorized. Its purpose is to tell us how do we come to be as we are, and how our themes and predicaments unfold through process of time. Honorable Speaker, 2016, Gambians, irrespective of tribe, region, political party, galvanized themselves into a very powerful political force and removed a system we thought is not favorable to Gambians. When that system was in, Honorable Speaker, the first month of the coalition government, a commission of inquiry was set up. But before this commission of inquiry was set up, people failed to understand there were a few months that the former Attorney General went to the court and seek court order to establish receiver, to establish office of a receiver, where Augustine Strong was appointed. Now, when that happened, Ghana Commission was established. This means a state process is open to investigate the assets of former president, whether legally or illegally gotten. When the commission was established, Honorable Speaker, assets were identified. What people don't talk about, people only talk about disposal and identification. But there was another very key process, which is evaluation, identification, evaluation, and disposal. Who evaluated these assets? Where $1 million assets cost us only $100,000. We have to be very sure of that, Honorable Speaker. So this committee has a very huge mandate. Honorable Speaker, we will also look at what kind of process was involved in this. Was it an auction? Was it a private sale? Because to me, auction legally, it must be advertised and it must be gazetted. By way of that, it accorded every citizen of this country to take part in the process. We also need to know that. Honorable Speaker, by way of structural evaluation and land, there were two things involved here. Former President Jammeh's landed properties, buildings were evaluated. As a civil engineer, when we are asked to evaluate property, first we look at the structural integrity of that property. Second, we look at the building envelope of that property. Third, we also look at the building system. That is why, and you have to do that comparatively to the bill of quantity of that building. That is why some properties...
Observation.
Also, with regards to land, if it is an empty land, we look at the topography, the terrain. We also look at the economic or the economic potential of that very land. All these properties were sold at a very good price. That is why this committee will have a very few tax.
No. Is somebody standing on a point of order? All right, close his time. Close his time. How many minutes more? Huh?
Honorable Speaker, point of order 29.1. Every member shall restrict his or her observation to the subject matter. We are debating a motion to establish a special committee, not about the nitty-gritties of this issue.
Yes.
I want to believe that he is giving his own framework and guidelines to this proposed select committee. I think that is fair enough.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
You are happy now. When it's against you, I want you to clap.
My last intervention, Honorable Speaker. If you look at the terms of references, for me, if you look at the captions, the committee shall be guided by, but not limited to, the following terms. It means even things that are not specific.
Yes, what you said is correct. It means not limited to those terms alone. Yes, yes. Within the ambit of the whole thing. Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Latrikunda Shabeji. I now invite the Honorable Member for Janjambure.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor to add my voice on the issue of discussion to start with. I just want to show solidarity to Mustafa Kedabo and also the Gala team for actually doing the needful, because we have been here for over 2 or 3 years. We couldn't really do much. And by extension, I really want to thank the Right Honorable Jallo, Honorable Asanture, Honorable Almami Jiba for taking up this issue.
Honorable Member, you don't name names. You talk about their constituencies.
Member for Dankunku, member for Fonyi, and member for Bakau. Thank you so very much for standing by Gambians in ensuring that the truth prevails. Also to the government, I wouldn't really thank you that much, because I know without these young people, you would have not really done the needful in ensuring that a report is out, and as well as having a motion before us. I think the majority leader did this out of to play with the gallery, just to get a cheap popularity. But then we are telling the majority...
Honorable Speaker, point of order. Who is rising to a point of order? Who is rising to a point of order? Honorable Member of Banjul.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
I'm waiting on you.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, order 29. Yes, order 29, content of speech. 1. Every member shall restrict his or her 29.1. Content of speeches. Honorable Speaker, 29.1. Content of speeches. Every member shall restrict his or her observations to the subject matter under discussion. Honorable Speaker, the subject matter under discussion is the establishment of a special select committee to look into the disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry, not to caricature the Honorable Majority Leader that he started to play with the gallery about this motion. Thank you.
Honorable Member. Honorable members, it's not always when something is not palatable to you, it's out of order. When people make remarks and you feel they are going beyond or they are not saying the facts, take the floor in your turn and correct those things and bring your facts. This debate we are on now is open-ended from the facts detailed in the motion. Probably what we may not be able to preempt is to talk about the allegations and allegations and allegations that we are on, because there are no investigations. But to give guidelines the way we go out and to believe that you think that some people contributed to this, it can come up. If you think, no, it's not so, somebody else will say, no, it's not that, it's that and that and that. Fine. Honorable Member for Janjambure, continue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And Chief Whip, I advised you last week. I'm not surprised with your actions. However, let me just get to the point straight. Honorable Speaker, I want us to look at number 5, which talks about the reporting timelines. And it says for 120 days to be given to the said committee. I want to align myself with nominated member.
5 of which page?
Number 5, no, page 5, number 2. Page 5, number 2.
Page 5, number 2. Okay.
Yes, I want us to change the days from 120 to 180 days, 6 months, considering the tax before us. Let's look at number 4 as well. Page 4, number 8. And I read, wherever discrepancies of a criminal or fraudulent nature are discovered during the inquiry, immediately cause a report of this finding to be submitted to the IGP for further necessary actions. I want that further to be changed immediately for the fact that we have a lot of reports before the IGP and he never acted. So we cannot trust him like that. Honorable Speaker, still on page 4, on support staff, I definitely want us to salvage the clerk of this National Assembly by not giving him all our powers. With appointments, let it be done in consultation with the special committee. Page 3, Honorable Speaker. Page 3, terms of reference of the committee. All that we're looking at is the accounted assets. I want to align myself to the members that propose that we also consider having to look into the unaccounted assets that are not really covered by the Janet Commission. Honorable Speaker, also on page 2, yes, on page 2, that is letter F, empower the clerk of the National Assembly to designate or temporarily appoint a small corps of technical staff to assist the committee in gathering information, make research, and analysis on the issues pertinent to the committee's deliberation and recommendations, and prepare committee's final report. I also want to advise that let the clerk do this in consultation with the special committee in order to kind of guide the process. With these few remarks, I beg to take my seat.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Janjambure. I now invite the Honorable Member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the issue also that I wanted to raise have already been taken care of with the member, the nominated member, Honorable Kebalam Fofana, and the member for Janjambure. That is to increase the 120 days, because we have a big task before us. It's not an easy task. So 4 months, for me, is not enough. Let's make it almost what you have said, 180 days.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jara Central. I now invite the Honorable Member for Upper Flood West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First of all, I think I would like to thank the majority leader for moving this motion. I think it's very, very important. And then it's a public concern because majority of the Gambians, I know some are not here, but majority of them, they are following the proceedings at the National Assembly right now as we speak. So I think it's very, very important. For me, I just want to say a few things concerning about setting up this inquiry committee looking into the assets of the former president. And then we are expecting to see a lot of public hearings, and also we are expecting to see many witnesses to testify before the committee. Now, along the way, we are expecting to see a lot of legal wrangling. And then if you look at the time frame that is given to this committee, to me, even 6 months is small. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. Even to me, my personal opinion, 6 months is too small. Because we are talking of, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of assets. You understand? And then the former president, the asset that he left, even when change of government happened, we all know what happened in this country. Before on the 19th January 2017, some Gambians were out in the street. Some of Jammeh's assets were stolen, which were not even accounted by the Janneh Commission. Of course, it happens. Yes, and then these are things that we need to put into consideration. Like for me, if you look at the TOR, that is the term of reference for the committee, that is page 3. Page 3, number 2. Honorable Speaker, if you look at page 3, number 2, the term of reference of the committee to investigate the legal and administrative processes used in the disposal of the said assets, including the authority under which they were sold. So based on that, for me, I just want to give recommendation to this assembly that I am recommending a head of the Superior Court, either a judge from the Supreme Court or a judge from the Court of Appeal, to serve as an advisor to this committee. Simply because the moment the committee starts working, we are expecting to come across a lot of legal challenges. So as a legal expert, anyway, that's my opinion. Whether it will stand or not, that's my personal opinion. Yes, and then this is what I just want to recommend. And then finally, I would thank the majority leader for coming up with this. I think it's very, very timely. And then I'm very, very sure the committee is going to do the needful. And I'm urging the committee that let them work hand in glove. And no stone is going to be left unturned. And then by the grace of Allah, Gambians, everything, will be published, and then Gambians will be satisfied at the end of the day. All those found wanting of, looting this asset or taking it another way around, they will pay the price. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Upper Fladu West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Lower Fladu West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I join my colleagues to thank the majority leader for bringing this noble motion in the Assembly. But my head is down today, and all members' heads should be down. We bear witness that this matter should not have been dealt with today. We have a key function to do as people representatives. And we were here when the phony councillor and these phony people will take it to be APRC. Why now? The truth must prevail. And again, I thank the youth, but advise them to protest on permit. Look, no member was denied bringing a motion in this house on this matter. No member. Why do we want to portray before the gallery that we were more concerned when the matter have not come from the youth? Why are we playing on the gallery? Why do we want to fool one another in this country? Why? This is very sad that the National Assembly, being a duty bearer on performing an oversight, and this is right before every Gambian, We all know what happened to Jammeh's assets. And we know how the commission was set up. Today we're sitting down playing on the gallery as we really mean business. That's why I said my head is down. And we must admit, there is something that we must admit. There was a commission called the Alkali Commission. There was no protest, no nothing that happened in this country. This is showing you that the democracy that we all fought for is a reality today in the Gambia. And thanks to the government of the day. You see, and again, coming back, and in the committee, we all know the bad blood. We all know the bad blood that has existed between Jammeh and certain politicians. We are not expecting them to be here. They cannot be neutral. We have to have people that are very frank and determined to do the job. Because if not, anything that Jammeh did was wrong in this country. That's not true. Jammeh did wrong, Jammeh did good. In fact, I will bring another motion to make sure that we pardon Jammeh. Look, he did bad and he did good. So what I'm saying again, I'm reading. And no, I'm not allowing anybody to observe me. When we could have done our job, why do you want to observe me? For what? Look, please. Yes, madam, you can. Yes, I also join my colleagues to say, the time that is given for the people to do this job, the time is very small because we will not entertain anybody for extension. So that's why I'm also joining my colleagues to ensure that at least we try to move it to 180 days so that there will be no extension on whatsoever. But as Gambians, let us not be selective to the truth. We cannot be selective because it is not dear to you, you don't care. And when I see these things, definitely we have to thank the youth of this country. But please, the single caution I'll say, do youth have a cause? Do not allow selfish people to come into your midst and manipulate you and bring in their political agenda. You have a cause for transparency and accountability. And be rest assured that we will join you in that cause. We are in support of you. And with permissions and even with not, we will negotiate for permit to be given, and we will make sure that the truth will come out from this. And I am here waiting for the selection committee to come and select people that I feel are conflicted and have interest. I will deny that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Fladu West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sani Mentereng.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I move on looking at the merits and principles of this motion, Honorable Speaker, I believe I cannot do justice without thanking the youth of this nation. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for coming out boldly to demonstrate and request for justice and request for the document that has been delayed for so many years. And it is your right, it is your constitutional right to request for something that you are part and parcel of asking that document. Honorable Speaker, it is a right for every citizen, being a party leader, being a party secretary, being a party office cleaner, or being whoever, to come to this chamber and listen to members' deliberations with regards to the merits and principles of this motion, as long as the assets of the former President Jammeh is being discussed in this parliament, which is the right of the citizens to know how everything transpired with regards to the Jammeh Commission. Honorable Speaker, looking at the merits, as I said, and principles of this motion, I have thoroughly looked at the terms and references of the committee to be set up, to be established. One, inquire into the list of the assets identified by the Commission and determine which assets were sold, transferred, or otherwise disposed of. I think that is not enough for one. Honorable Speaker, I suggest we also add who were the buyers of these said assets. I request that to be added, or I suggest. Honorable Speaker, on the investigation of the legal administrative processes used in the disposal of the said assets, including the authority under which they were sold. I really support that idea. We need clarity on this. This is not a joke. This is timely. It is long overdue, as alluded by Honorable Member of Bakau. It is long overdue. I remember there were members who were asking for this asset. Who sold the assets? Who were the buyers? How was it built? Series of questions has been raised with regards to the assets of President Yahya Jammeh. And thank you very much, Honorable Almamejib, Honorable Member for Fonyi Councillor, who has constantly been asking about this assets. But people think he was just asking it because he's a member of No to Coalition. No, he is a citizen of the country. He is a member who is representing citizens of this country. And I believe he was not asking it because he's a member of the No to Coalition, but he's asking it because a citizen and it's a concern of people. Gambia needs to know it's a public fund. These are public assets. These are no more Express or President Yahya AJ Jammeh's assets. These are public funds, and we need clarity on this. So thank you very much, Honorable Member for your Councillor, for boldly coming out, asking for these assets, asking the buyers, asking every little bit with regard to the assets of President Yahya AJ Jammeh. And then also again, Honorable Speaker, I don't think I'll have much more to say because we'll be just repeating of what other members have already dwelt on. Honorable Speaker, but there's only one point that I need to observe. In the establishment of the committee, the establishment of the committee needs to be considered very, very well in a regard of selecting who will be part of this committee. We need only one member, as recorded here. Member from each party. I wouldn't want you to select Honorable Party Cham because I just want to be there as a name of being a member of this select committee as Honorable Party Cham, when for the fact that I know I will not be here, just the name to be there. We should be selecting people who will be here, who will be ready to die and investigate this matter with other members. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move. Thank you very much.
Honorable Member, I just want to make something very clear. That the modus operandi or the set criteria for selections is embedded in our own standing orders. The standing orders has given us the way to put up a selection committee. And as of now, there is no other way we can do it except that one. So I don't know why we should work too much. If we feel that the process in the standing orders, at the end, we just try to amend our standing orders to suit what we want. But as we speak now, we can't go outside the regulations set for ourselves. Let's not busybody ourselves on some of those issues. Thank you very much, Honorable Member, for standing mentoring. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Let me also join my colleague to thank the majority leader for coming up with this motion. Honorable Speaker, if we were listening, this thing would not happen as it happened for the past few days. Honorable Speaker, a series of parliamentary questions is sent to the various ministries who were responsible of disposing of this Jammeh's assets. People like me, it went to an extent I was even categorized as an opposition. Not that. But what is important, I am the first person to write a parliamentary question when the Jammeh Commission made their recommendation. The observation I made at that time, Jammeh is a dictator, I agree. That's what we all say. But can somebody be in power for 22 years? He don't have nothing. 22 good years. He don't have nothing. I don't think. Then I wrote a parliamentary question. Series of parliamentary questions, repeatedly, we couldn't get ahead. What caused that, I don't know. But let me thank the youth of this country, because you elected us.
Give us insurance here where I am standing. I will talk whatever I talk. You insure my mouth. You give me immunity. You give me power. When I fail to execute that power, you said, okay, let's allow them. We give them the power. Then you went out. Use your power. What we are requesting on your behalf have to forcefully come out. Thank you very much, the youth of this country. Honestly, that's it. As members of parliament, any power we have, they give us the power. If we fail to apply the power, they will apply it and get the truth out of it. Honorable Speaker, but again, we have to be debate factually. Thank God also we have a system in place that will listen to its people. When we were rejected the permit, some of you were arrested. The authority knew, okay, there is a law, but what is more important today? Let me listen to my people. Then you were released and you were given the demand that you asked. And that's what a responsible government also do. Listen to the cause of your people. Honorable Speaker, on the motion, I think nominated member Keba Langfo raised an issue, but what we need to add after inquiry is to add an other connected matter. If we add it there, then the problem is solved. Then we can go in for anything with regard of the former head of state. But if we leave it as it is, we will not be restricted on the Ghana Commission. And there is a notion, there is a lot of things left behind. Honorable Speaker, my debate is not too much, but then I would concur with member for Janjabure on bullet point 8. Because in your own statement, when you were reading your communication from the chair, you have mentioned something very important, that we should attach seriousness and commitment to this investigation. And I agree with you, because there is an investigation that was launched in this August Assembly. I am observing, making an observation from that from the proceeding of that investigation. We must give this committee power, because there are people responsible. But the bullet 8 is saying, whenever discrepancies of a criminal or fraudulent nature are discovered during the inquiry, immediately cause a report of this finding to be submitted to the Inspector General of Police for further action. But I think this committee will be given the power. If the committee suspects that somebody have abetted on any of these matters, so that the individual can be sent for an administrative leave. Because you cannot be investigating somebody and he is sitting on that chair. He can tamper with evidence. And that's what will make this committee to be serious. That's what will make the people to respect this committee. But if we don't give them the power to send people who are responsible on administrative leave while the inquiry is on, the proceeding of this inquiry will be drained.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku. I now invite the Honorable Member for Banjul South.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the Majority Leader for coming up with this applaudable motion. But I would also bring it to his attention that next time, I think it's only fair enough that he consults all members of the Assembly so that we can also be given the opportunity to sign, because an honorable member did mention that he's thanking members that have signed, but some of us were not aware that the honorable majority was in the process of calling for this, and this has happened before. We had called on a special inquiry when it came regarding the ACI, and all members of parliament were consulted. So I would ask the honorable majority next time to consult all members of parliament, because this is national interest and we are all interested. And then, Honorable Speaker, I will not start without thanking these noble, gallant youths of Gambia, and I am glad to identify them by name. I would have, but I will not be allowed to. But thank you, Honorable, I will call you Honorable today because you are more honorable than us. We have been here. We have been here for many years, and some members, I have not
Honorable.
had, unfortunately.
Honorable.
Some members.
Honorable. You are more honorable than me. Don't say than us.
That is
yeah,
you.
if you want to thank them,
Mr. Speaker, my time is going. Maybe that is you, but for me, I deem them more honorable than honorable members.
Speak on our behalf. You can only speak on your
my
behalf.
time, Mr. Speaker.
Please, no, honorable, sit down.
5 minutes. Don't take
Honorable, sit down. Honorable, don't argue with me. What I'm saying is, you can speak on your behalf, but you cannot speak on everybody's behalf. You cannot. You don't have that right.
On your behalf, I am giving them the title. I said they are more honorable than honorable members. That is my
No, you said they are more honorable than us.
Mr. Speaker,
I heard you.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday,
unless you are on the path, I will not let you go until we get this clear. Please. Please. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I came across a statement by a youth.
Speaker, point of order.
Honorable member for Nyanija.
20. This is my 5. No members are promote other member. The member is influent to all the definitely
sustained. In fact, that's what I was
told. It's withdrawn.
It's withdrawn. Okay, it's withdrawn, but they are still very honorable, and I see you as very honorable.
Okay.
Honorable Speaker, I came across a statement yesterday by a young man, and I was very touched. And he said, this is not my word, it is his word. He said, you will never get justice when criminals rule. And let us allow criminals not to rule this country. It is not my statement, it is something I came across yesterday. And I salute the young men that came out seeking for justice, seeking that we are not ruled by criminals. Again, not my word, but they are demanding for accountability. And young men and women, we thank you for taking the right steps, demanding for accountability, demanding for justice, something that I have been sitting in this assembly, I think for coming to 8 years, which I have unsuccessfully been able to do. And I think you will be successful in bringing change that we deserve, that we demanded in 2016. I think you can take us back to those days where we will change a system and bring in a system that this country deserves. 2026, Mr. Speaker, if I go back to the motion, Mr. Speaker, he says, and Honorable Speaker, he says he wants connected matters, and I think connected matters and persons, because it is not only matters, it also includes persons, and also close family, close associates, close families should also be included. Also, it says disposal of other assets or otherwise, because it is not only sales or disposal. There are some items that were not sold, so we need to know those items as well. And also, there should be no room for extension. So I agree with the nominated member for it to be increased to 180 days, Mr. Speaker. And also, if we look at 3.5, it says in the public interest, it should say in the best interest of the public, because what is the public interest? We don't know. It should be in the best interest of the public. Thank you. Yeah, but the best interest, it can only say public interest, but not the best. Mr. Speaker, also, the honorable member brought about the Public Order Act. Mr. Speaker, on Thursday and Friday, maybe we did not sleep, we cried, but from Saturday until 2026,
Honorable member.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Banjul South. I now invite the Honorable Member for Old Yundum.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, first of all, I also want to register my appreciation to the Majority Leader for bringing a motion for this National Assembly to set a special select committee to look into the Commission of Inquiry on the Jami assets. And I think it's important. The objective of the motion is valid. And it is only important for us as members of Parliament to deal with the objects of the motion. Perhaps one of the things I need to look at is, somebody said on page 4, support staff. I just want to differ with that proposal. And I think it's important for us to consider, because we have set up an inquiry, and it is a member-led inquiry, kind of. We have seen how it is going. So I think we are trying to departure from, this is a departure from that. Because of the clerk, that is mandated to look into the affairs of this assembly, and the custodian of every administration that is going on in this parliament cannot be left out in what we are doing. I think we need to also grant the powers to also appoint certain people who will work with this committee. We cannot leave the clerk out. And I think we also have to have that independent, mind to select people who we think are competent to support the committee. I think that is important. We cannot leave that out. And I wanted to make that clear, because I had somebody said that. That is one of the things that I need to clarify, so that I can give it my support. The other thing I want to say, Honorable Speaker, aside from the motions, you see, we need to be very clear. I think all of us in this National Assembly will have to acknowledge what the Republic have done. And of course also acknowledge what the young people have done. We acknowledge them. But I want to say, the young people of this country don't need any validation from anybody. Because what they are doing is for the interest of the Gambia. Not me and not anybody. So even thank them, because you are thanking them for what? They are doing what they are supposed to do. It's their country. All of us as politicians are thanking them for our own interests. Our interests? Yes, of course. That is a fact. It is for our interests, not them. And I want them to understand that. You understand? It is your right to do what you are supposed to do. And you don't need validation from any politician. That is the fact. Any politician who is doing it for his own interests, just to use you. That is a fact. And I think we need to make that very clear. All of us in this National Assembly, we acknowledge what they have done. And then we have requested for the list of the properties. I think the Justice Minister, we need to be very fair. The Justice Minister provided a list of landed properties in this National Assembly. That was what is requested. That was what is requested through a parliamentary question. It was provided. And then we need to make the records very, very clear. We cannot come to this chamber and say, we have requested 8 years, we cannot have it. That is not factual. That is misleading. What was provided is what was requested. That is a fact. And nobody is hiding anything here. I am not going to be part of those who are going to hide what is going to happen in this commission. I am not going to be part of it. And I told the Majority Leader. And I think all my colleagues, you know that very well. You understand? Nobody is going to hide anything. So we are all in this together. What I am trying to say is, all of us together need to work in one block, whether you are part of the minority or the majority. We need to work together. Let us not see each other as being part of the executive and we are part of the opposition. It is the National Assembly whose integrity is at stake, and then it is us who should mend it, and through this very special committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Old Yundum. I now invite the Honorable Member for Lower Badibu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will also join my colleagues, despite the fact that some members are condemning members for taking these gallant views in doing the needful for this country. I will salute you and I will continue to salute you for the stand that you have taken against injustice that has been meted on Gambians for so long. We need to speak about it. We need to condemn it. I am with you in the struggle. Honorable Speaker, the demand of these youths is legitimate. It is not illegitimate, it's legitimate. And you have written an indelible mark in the history of this country, which is not going to be easily wiped or erased. Honorable Speaker, when these people were out to demand the justice for the Gambian people, I was not in the country, but I wish I was here. I would have joined you. But nonetheless, I have instructed my sons to join me, and they were there in demanding the justice. Honorable Speaker, I will, of course, the issue of setting up a parliamentary question on this issue. This parliament has already, Gambian people has already lost confidence in this parliament, whether we know it or not. This is the fact. They don't, honestly speaking, they don't respect us anymore because of our own stand. I will never commend what the majority leader for coming up with this motion. I will never do it because the reason why you came up with this motion is because of the action of this youth. Otherwise, today we would not have been here. The reason why we are here is because of your action. Otherwise, today all of us would have been sitting in our homes, drinking our attire and of course eating our rice. Honorable Speaker, the commission, the composition of the commission, I don't care much about it. All that I need is, of course, honest and, of course, good people. And I believe we should give chance to honest people. I'm not telling you there are no honest people in this parliament, but we know each other. We don't want truth to be. You want to be on at everything. That is truthful. I would not want to waste much time on this. I am waiting for the report of the commission. Then that day, I will, of course, deliberate on issues that are affecting Gambians, including myself and you people. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Lower Badibu. Honorable members, when you address the Speaker. And then, you are not addressing those at the gallery. I now invite the Honorable Member for Talinding Kunja.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me start with the member for Odin, because he was just countered what I was going to start from. That is acknowledging the efforts of the civil society, that it includes the youth. Now, saying that anyone who praise them, you are doing it for partisan purposes, is unfair. Because when you started your debate, you just thanked the majority leader for bringing the motion. Is it not his job? You thanked the majority leader for refusing people to thank civil society. That's not fair. That's not fair. So, we have to recognize people's individual efforts. We as a parliament, allow me to continue, you are obstructing unnecessarily. So, Clark, my time is going.
Honorable Member for Latrikunda, you have your standing orders guiding us. Please, avoid me interjecting. Why can't we behave ourselves? No, you did. Please, and honorable members, when you speak, you want people to listen to you. If people are speaking, please listen to them. However hard you may disagree with them. But it's not fair when you are talking, you want people to listen, and when people are talking, you don't want to listen. That is not fair. Please, let's be a little bit patient. Honorable Member for Talinding, please continue.
Honorable point of order.
Please, somebody, point of order. Is somebody rising on a point of order?
Yes. All unum, yes? Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on point order 29, clause 5. I think clause 5 says no member shall impute improper motive to any other member. And of course, Honorable Speaker, I did my submission, but I did say I acknowledge the effort of Republic and the youth. I did say that. I went further to say, the young people of this country, you don't need validation from politicians, because what they have done is what they're supposed to do.
Honorable, what did he impute into your statement?
That's what I did not. I said no.
Honorable,
yes.
Honorable, I think from what I heard, I think he made a fair assessment of your thoughts. That's what I believe. That's why I wanted him to tell me exactly what he has said that had not.
I use.
Honorable member for telling me, can you continue?
Thank you, my time. There was a lot of interruptions. No, say it. It's not correct. A lot of interruptions.
You can continue.
I don't even speak for 30 seconds before they interrupt. So what I was saying, I want to thank the member for Lower Fuladu West for admitting the failure of the government. Because we are here today because we are here today after many years because of the failure of the government to deliver.
I don't say that. I don't say that. No, I don't say that. I don't say that. I don't say that. No, he.
It is very embarrassing. It is very embarrassing that a commission was set up to look at looted assets of this country.
Speaker, point of order.
To come back and see after the commission seizing all those assets.
Point of order,
to look
Speaker.
at how those assets are.
Point of order.
Point of order. Let
Yes.
me hear your point of order.
No member shall input improper motive to any other member. I've never said that. What I said it is clear.
I've never said what?
To say admit that government have failed. What I said that we can attest that the member for councillor have brought this matter and no other member was volunteer able to bring this matter. Today my head is down as a member of parliament. That's what I said. No, I don't say that. No.
You know, honorable members, order please. In this particular instance, my memory does not serve me that honorable member for Lower Fuladu has acknowledged government's failure. I have not heard that, to be honest. I tried to consult to know, but I have not heard that. So I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to make that statement that he acknowledged government's failure.
Now, the issue is meanings are implied. People's arguments, people don't understand when somebody makes a statement. There are implied meanings of words and statements you make. If you look at inferences, you are indirectly saying that we don't do what we are supposed to do. Now, you've taken you.
Speaker, point of order.
Now, okay, you have not acknowledged. Fine. Allow me to proceed. Now, let me say this thing.
Point of order.
It's important in the motion to look at the commitment of the government. Yes, in implementing the Jane recommendations. Because the commission released, the government released a white paper acknowledging the recommendations that the Jane Commission made. And those things, you cannot find them in the Jane Commission report now because the government should act on them. So, how has the government acted towards them? Because there are individuals that are mentioned as Jane associates. They've looted this country millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. The commission recommended that those monies should be paid. Their assets should be forfeited. And this money will not find it in the commission now. It's the government that should act on it. And these properties should be forfeited. Has government done that? Has those monies been recovered? This especially inquiry should also look at that. We should look at how government conforms to the implementation of the general recommendations. And according to his white paper, like honorable nominated member was saying, does government respect its own white paper? This special committee should look at that, because there are also landed properties that Jame tried to list, about 30 of them. The commission identified them, and then to stop those leasing process and return the properties. Has government acted on those ones? There are landed properties that have been issued by municipalities and councils to Jame, by communities to Jame. What happens to those landed properties? So government commitments in terms of enforcing its own white paper, this special committee should look at that. So you are not going to look at only what yes. So in terms of democratization, that you mentioned that the democratic space is there. You've just exposed this minority camp through a member of central body, trying to attempt to amend the Public Order Act that your government used to pounce on these actors, these peaceful demonstrators. And now, where is the peaceful democracy you are talking about? Every government is.
Thank you very much, honorable member, for telling me, Kunyang. I now invite the honorable member for Brikama North.
Thank you very much, honorable speaker. Time is a problem. All protocol observed.
Sorry, honorable. I now invite the honorable member for Brikama North and minority leader.
Yes. Honorable speaker, due to time factor, I observe all protocols. Honorable Speaker, I take note of concern regarding the caption of the inquiry, sale and proposal and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry. This excludes other assets that were not identified by the Commission. I believe that too is a concern to the great population. Honorable Speaker, if you go to the preamble, the Roman figure 2 of the preamble, whereas public concern continues to grow regarding the processes, legal frameworks, and accountability mechanisms involved in the identification, sale, and disposal of all assets identified by the Commission. This is the second part of the preamble. And if you look at this is at a point when the public show growing concern on this sale and disposal. I believe that comes after the report and then the white paper was put before the public. I believe now, on that basis, I suggest the arrangement of the preamble. This one, instead of coming at the second point, should rather come as the seventh point, and that will fall after. Whereas the National Assembly and great public considers that the government has not sufficiently disclosed the manner in which these assets were disposed of, the procedures followed, the value realized from the sale, as well as the identities of the purchase, then this can come to be followed by, whereas the National Assembly must respond to the matters of public importance. This can connect, but where that particular phrase is positioned, that means that was noted before even the commission was established. The establishment of the commission supposed to be the second point before the people reaction. Having made that, let me refer you to page 3 of the motion that has to do with the composition of the committee. In the composition of the committee, we were referred to 96(1) of the standing orders. 96(1) of the standing orders. 96(1)(c) and 1(c) is about the membership of the Special Select Committee shall normally consist of a chairperson and 4 other members, and in any event, not more than 7 members in total. Now, this did not go in detail to suggest the reflection of political balance and gender inclusivity. I don't know where we get that from that. And this narrowed the position made by Honorable Member for Nyanija. I refer you to 96.5 or 95.25. In page 115, special select committees may be established to deal with any specific time-bound matters on a motion setting out the terms of reference thereof and tabled by the committee of selection. That is for the selection of the special select committee, but not the motion. The motion emanates from a member, but not the selection committee. Now it is for the process of selecting the selection committee. That is the motion that will come from the selection committee. He is right to have the honorable member for Kantora Majority Leader as a mover under the pretext of member of the Committee of Selection should be the
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Member for Bikama North and Minority Leader. I now invite the Honorable Nominated Member and Deputy Speaker, Honorable Sidi Eskenjai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm going to be very brief. I want to thank the Majority Leader and members of the National Assembly for calling on this special or extraordinary session to set up special committee to look into and also review in respect of the Janneh Commission regards assets and properties identified by the Janneh Commission in respect of their disposal. Honorable Speaker, one thing I think we need to take into account as members of the National Assembly, we are not debating the report or the conduct of the Janneh Commission yet. We are setting up a special committee that should legally
review not, of course, act or omission done by the members of the Joint Commission, but acts that deliberately are injurious to this country. That's why we are here. And in that, of course, assets have been identified. And the special committee must look at those assets that were identified by the Joint Commission. Their valuation, the processes and procedures of those valuations, who conducted the valuation, and also the committee to determine whether those assets, of course, vis-a-vis cars, that is tractors, landed properties, or the assets and properties that the China Commission dealt with, including the cattle. Who evaluated them? How were they evaluated? Was they undervaluated or not? Who, of course, we know we said the China Commissions and so on and so forth. What was the recommendation from those who evaluated those assets? Each asset, were they undervaluated or not? Who bought them, or what was the process and processes done during the auctioning? We were told some assets were auctioned and sold. Who buy them? We profile those, the buyers, of course, correlate them. Member for Central Body, please. Who bought those assets? We profile them to ascertain how they were able to buy those assets, whether there were certain things that were done that are against the establishment of the Joint Commission, of course, and link them to those who probably behind the scenes bought them. So that is the reason why we are forming this special committees. And one member stated that this committee, we need to throw their political lenses and look at their mandate as per this assembly objectively. That is why some members who, for one reason or the other, politically may be biased or may not be fair, should in fact recuse themselves in the event that they are nominated to be part of the special committee. Because when we are,
Honorable,
No member, 29.
Banjul South.
Point of
Most
order.
honorable member for Banjul South. When you rise for a point of order, you listen to me, and at the same time, you put on your microphone. Because if your microphone is not on, we will not hear.
Point of order.
Yes, please stand on your point of order.
Point of
on your
order. Speaker 29.5. 29.5. No member shall impute improper motives to any other member. Honorable, the Deputy Speaker is imputing improper motive. He's saying that some members are playing, I don't know what exactly he said, he should repeat it, but he's saying that some members are using it politically. Mr. Speaker, he should retract that statement because he is the one that is playing with it. He was here in 2017 with your support and brought the motion of emergency that did not want this. So if somebody is playing politics, he is the one that is playing politics, not member.
Your point of order is not sustained. Honorable member, can you continue?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Point of order.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much, and I want to thank the member for Banjul South for those comments directed at me personally, and I appreciate them, and I want to thank her sincerely for that.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I repeat.
Honorable Deputy Speaker. Yes, Honorable Member for Latrikunda. Thank you.
Contents of speech.
Come here.
29. Contents of speech. Every member shall restrict his or her observation to the subject matter under discussion. Honorable Speaker, where the Honorable Deputy Majority Speaker is deflating is not what is under discussion here. Honorable Deputy Speaker is more conflicted in this National Assembly than anybody. He's the one who traveled with the former President.
Honorable Member. Honorable Member.
you are completely out of order. And you wanted to make a statement, you are going behind the point of order. Next time, I will not tolerate it. Please. All right. Honorable Majority, Honorable
Speaker.
Deputy Speaker, can you
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member, thank you.
Deputy, let me observe you.
I repeat.
Honorable Speaker.
Please, Honorable Speaker, I repeat. Please, Honorable Members, any one of us who thinks politically you might be biased in this regard, please, even if you are nominated to be member of the special committee, recuse yourself. I repeat that. And I want to say that also, members are always advised to read their standing orders. If you want to stand on a point of order, you must know the law. You must not waste the time of the House. You must not play with the gallery. We are not here to joke. We are not here for social media. Please, Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Can I observe you, please?
Lower floor. Yes, what were you saying? What was, were you standing up for a point of order?
No, I was observing the...
Honorable Member for Lower Fuladu. Yes, you said what?
Said I just wanted to observe the happenings, the procedures, because the proceedings. You see, members will not rise on a point of order because they have a statement to do.
Now, Honorable. No. That one I have addressed that one. I know that the Honorable Member for Latrikunda knows that he had no point of order. But he wanted to make a statement, and therefore he can only go under the cover of point of order. And then when he made his point of order, he went further to say what he wanted to say. This was wrong. He knows it was wrong. He himself knows that. There are times when parliamentarians know that this is wrong, and they try to dribble. But what I said, if you are dribbling and you are caught, the whistle is gone. Agree, stop. Yes, you can dribble, but when you are caught, please. Honorable members.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Point of order.
Who is standing on a point of order?
Nominated member.
Yes, Honorable.
Honorable Speaker, I'm standing on 29(1)(5) and section 112A and B of the Constitution. I will read all and then make my submission. 29(1) reads, every member shall restrict his or her observations to the subject under discussion. 29(5) reads, Honorable Speaker, no member shall impute improper motive to any other member. And section 112 of the Constitution reads, section 112A, all members shall maintain the dignity of the National Assembly, both during the sitting of the National Assembly and in their acts and activities outside the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, a precedent was set. The main reason the member from Banjul South and the member from Latrikunda Sabiji raised a point of order against the Honorable Speaker or Deputy Speaker was a member rose here and imputed improper motives on the majority leader, and we allowed it to pass. and we said the debate is open-ended.
Honorable, what is your point of order?
My point of order is members are not restricting themselves to the subject under discussion. And to this, the member from Janjambure falls short and the deputy speaker equally.
Honorable members, when members are not subjecting themselves to the theme on the discussion, rise up and put a point of order and I make a determination.
Honorable Speaker, that was done.
No.
But your judgment sets a precedent. That is why it is happening. And if we allow it to continue,
it's not correct. I don't agree with that, Honorable.
I stand by my submission, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, but I am not in agreement with that. My judgment actually is based on what I have seen and heard and by the law. It may differ with how you see it, but you cannot say that that is either right or wrong or whatever. Honorable member for honorable nominated members and deputy speaker, CD, SK Njai, can you continue?
No, I'm done.
You are done.
I'm done here.
Issue was raised, I think, just then by the honorable minority leader. If you make reference to Section 95, sub 5, Section 95 of the Standing Orders, sub 5, clause 5. '95 sub 5. Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yes. Oh.
Okay, no problem. I wanted you just to incline your mind on it.
Special select committees may be established to deal with any specific time-bounded matters on a motion setting out the terms of reference thereof and tabled by the Committee of Selection.
What I would try to is it infers that is the Committee of Selection for Special Select Committees is the Committee of Selection member who should table it. And that was why we had to have a meeting of the Committee of Selection yesterday to look at it and for a bit to be tabled.
Can I come in?
Yeah, you may ask further questions. You just want clarity.
Yes, the question is that, yes, I agree. What I'm trying to say is that for this particular motion, it's not for the selection of the Special Select Committee. Tomorrow's sitting will be for the selection of the Special Select Committee. That is the one that will come from the Selection Committee. But this particular one is a member who moved for the call of this extraordinary with this motion that did not emanate from the Special Select Committee.
Honorable, you know what you are saying, I've heard it. Like, after this session, the Committee of Selection will meet to select the membership. That will be tabled tomorrow. But what we are now saying is, in this particular instance, and this particular 95 sub 5, it's not talking about that. It talks about a Special Select Committee, and that one has to be done by a member of the Selection Committee. That's what 95.5 is saying. From all my consultations with the legal people, they all agreed on that principle, that's what it implies. I am what? Okay, you are saying I'm on track. Okay, so honorable member. From our legal department. All of them, consensus. So, if there is ambiguity, we look at it to make it very clear. I now thank the honorable member for, honorable nominated member and the deputy speaker. Thank you very much. I now call upon.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order.
Point of
order.
Yeah.
Point of order 29.5. I said no member shall improve improper motive. Mr. Speaker, I think I made a mistake when I said, when I raised that point of order on the Deputy Speaker. I wish to withdraw. Thank you.
Not heard you well. I heard you say Deputy Speaker and I don't know, withdraw, something like that.
Mr. Speaker, I listened to what the Deputy Speaker said again, and what I thought he said was not what he said. So I said I withdraw it. Thank you.
That's magnanimity. Somebody will acknowledge that I have made an error. It's not easy, but if anybody does it, I take it to be great. I now invite the honorable member for Banjul North. Banjul North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, looking at the situation, it's like there are interesting times ahead. But notwithstanding, before I dwell into my submission proper, I will want to seize this opportunity to thank the majority leader and member for Kantora for bringing up this motion, and also all members who have signed and also didn't sign as far as this extraordinary session is concerned. But I believe I will not also do justice without acknowledging and also congratulate the young people of this country, especially the Gala executive and the young people that align themselves with Gala in this country. Honorable Speaker, the truth is, if the government doesn't want any protest, let them stop doing wrong things in this country. And that is the fact. Let them stop it. But going further, Honorable Speaker, I believe it is important to put it to the Parliament that there is a saying that if you lose your money, you lose absolutely nothing, because you can work and get it back. You lose your health, of course you lose something. But if you lose your integrity, you lose everything. We cannot afford to lose our integrity as Parliament. And that is why we came up with such a motion to make sure that we dwell into the motion that says for the establishment of a special select committee to inquire into the sales and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealings with the former President Yahya AJJ Jammeh and connected matters. Honorable Speaker, this is a clear manifestation of what we really want to do. But I call the entire process as long overdue. Because this is something that should not even come now. It should have been before. But notwithstanding, we have responsibility as responsible, honorable members of Parliament, and also to better represent our people by addressing their needs and their concerns. Honorable Speaker, talking about the integrities and also the principle or the merits of this motion, I will want to also join my honorable colleagues to talk about the unidentified issue when it comes to the unidentified assets. This needs to be included as part of the motion. The issue of the committee also, that is the special committee we call it. Honorable Speaker, I as a member, I am expecting an opposition member to lead this committee. And this should be included. Honorable Speaker, I will also join other members who propose instead of 120 days, we make sure that it is 180 days to avoid extension, which is very important. Time without numbers, we have seen committees coming here requesting for extension. We are not compromising this one. Let them do the needful within 180 days and see that they produce a very comprehensive report whereby we can be able to read and understand and not to read and become confused. Honorable Speaker, I will also join other members on page 4, number 8, that talks about the issue of the police in terms of submitting findings to the police, that they should act immediately. And also, for people that are within the system, should be sent to administrative leave. This is in order. And this should be added as far as our proposal is concerned for this particular motion. Honorable Speaker, by saying that, I will want the Parliament to know that as long as we manage problems in this country, we will never solve them. And now is the time. We must all come together and make sure that we solve the problem of this country and not to manage them. And we are not compromising, especially when it comes to the special committee members. We all know each other. We will not compromise in terms of making sure that you are exposed to the public in terms of what you will be doing.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul North. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. There are those who wrap themselves in flags and blow the tiny trumpet of patriotism in this country. And we do not consider patriotism desirable if it contradicts civilized behavior, Honorable Speaker. I will commend the Honorable Majority Leader for coming up with this motion. I don't want anybody to beat the table or clap for me because I'm speaking the truth. I cannot stand here and pretend to the gallery. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Majority Leader for coming up with this motion. And I will advise that the Committee of Selection do the needful by selecting the right people so that we can have what we want, so that we will not go back to the days wherein so-called politicians who are impostors would want to kill our youth on the streets. Honorable Speaker, I will encourage the youth to make sure that they go and follow what is right. Get the permission to go and contest. Get the permission to go and demonstrate. Whatever it takes for you to get that permission, do it, but legally. The Constitution is very clear. Section 5 says, if somebody, or even the National Assembly, does anything which contradicts the Constitution of this country, you have the right to resort to the court to make sure that you get what you want. If you think that the IGP denied you your constitutional mandate, what you should have done is to go to the court, but not to forcefully go to the street. It's illegal, and I'm condemning you. I'm not encouraging you to do this next time. I'm a youth like you, and there were others who were not even youth. I saw them there. These are pretenders. They are politicians who want to kill you. Let's speak the truth here. Let's not play with the garali. Go and insult me, I don't care. As far as speaking the truth is concerned, I will say it, whether you like it or not. Now, Honorable Speaker, we are very happy that now we have democracy in this country. We are very happy that we have democracy in this country. Now that the cockroaches and mice are all going to the street illegally. 29. Point of order. Full central body. Yes. Yes. Honorable Speaker, it should be out of order. 29. It should be out of order. It shall be out of order to use offensive and insulting language about members of the assembly. And no member also shall impute improper motives. He cannot call Gambians as cockroaches. He cannot call us as cockroaches. He must withdraw that word. He cannot call the Gambian citizens as cockroaches. That's not parliamentary. He cannot call them as cockroaches. It's not parliamentary. He must withdraw that word. He cannot call Gambians as cockroaches, people on the street.
Yes, sorry, Honorable Member for Central Badibu. I was making consultations because I just want to get what he said. But I think what I understand he said was, because of democracy, even cockroaches are going to the streets to this thing. I think that according to what I heard, that's what he said.
No, Honorable. Pardon? Honorable.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, that's not the law. Honorable Speaker, this parliament is the hope of the Gambian people. And this parliament is the parliament.
No. Honorable.
The language should be.
No. Honorable.
You cannot. This is not metaphorical statement.
Honorable, please. I am trying to get the facts. Whether this parliament is honorable, is all these things, we all agree. But what we are saying is, what was said that you are making a point of order against, we must establish that. And that's what I said. I said, what I understood he said was that because of democracy now, even cockroaches are taken to the streets. I think that was, pardon? He's, all right, please. That's what he said. It's not what he said. Can you say what he said?
Please, can I? The first address was he pointed at somebody and said, "If you go there, they will kill you."
Honorable, please. You ask me my doubt. No, you must clear my doubt, not what you want to say. My point is, what has he said that you think is an insult to Gambians? What statement has he made? This is what I'm saying. I said what I heard he said was that because of democracy, even cockroaches are taken to the streets. You said no, he did not say that. I now ask you, what did he say exactly? What you heard? From what I heard, I was told that he said, which now looks, I think honorable members agree what I said was what he said. If that is so, if that is so, I don't think that is an insult to Gambia. Because of democracy, he's not referring to the cockroaches as human beings, but even cockroaches themselves have democracy until they are coming to the streets. That's what I learned. What is the meaning I can learn to it? It has extended beyond human beings to even cockroaches who are now feeling democracy. So, honorable member, you can continue.
Honorable Speaker, some of the youths are more honorable than a CEO who is accused of looting millions in this country. Honorable Speaker, we will not allow the youths to be killed in these streets by so-called politicians. Let's do what is right. Let's allow the committee to do due diligence to make sure that they leave no stone unturned, to make sure that they provide us with relevant and correct concurrent information that will be able to make us, guide us.
Point of order.
With resolutions.
Yes, honorable member for Janjambure.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Point of order 29, content of speeches. 29.1. Every member shall restrict his or her observation to the subject matter under discussion. And the Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjam said some of the CEOs
That is not sustained. Your point of order is not sustained. Honorable member, please continue.
So that was actually my advice to the youth, that let them do whatever it takes by getting the permit, but legally. Honorable Speaker, we should also give the committee mandate to direct the IGP to arrest anyone who fails to report to the committee, because there may be resistance and they may be facing certain resistance. Please, let's give that the committee that mandate. Inna Allaha ma'a sabirin. Jammeh is patiently waiting. His looted assets must be revealed. Thank you.
Honorable members, let's remember always that committees of parliament already have powers of a high court in calling witnesses, asking for documentations, etc. What is entailed in the motion is just borrowed from that. Even without that, there exists a constitutional provisions giving, empowering parliamentary committees those rights. They can call you, summons you, ask, bring out documents, etc., etc. They have the powers of a high court in that regard. So let's have no fears. They are already empowered by the Constitution. Whatever limitations we may have on the, how do you call it, on the motion. I now invite the honorable, honorable, thank you very much, honorable member for Sabak Senjan. I now invite the honorable member for Central Badibadi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to join my colleagues to thank youths and to thank all those people who were demanding for justice, transparency, accountability as far as the former president's looted properties are concerned. Honorable Speaker, we have a nation to build, and I believe the citizens, parliament, executive, media, we all have a role to play. And we want to salute Republic for coming with this revolution. We know there are gaps, and the purpose of establishing this parliamentary inquiry is to work on the gaps. But Honorable Speaker, I will also thank you for today for raising this issue earlier on record, that you are not happy and you are requesting for this Janet Commission report to come into the domain of the Gambian people. I have to salute you for that today. At the beginning, in fact, I said to myself, today my guy is doing well, but I'm surprised. Later on, I don't know what happened along the line. You see blatantly people are playing with the gallery. You should stop them and rule in the right favor. But don't worry, I acknowledge that's your role. Honorable Speaker, we have set up a lot of inquiry committees here. But at the end of the day, they didn't perform. When I was in Badibu, I got a call. I was not, in fact, so much eager, to come and attend, because my doubt is whether we will live up to expectations. Because an inquiry means we have to be very balanced. We have to make sure that we live for purpose. But at the end of the day, we see a lot of things that happen. And this inquiry, one thing that I want to recommend is let it be public. Media must have access to cover everything. All right? And the people, Deputy Speaker mentioned it, I was very happy. People who are conflicted, let them excuse themselves. I think we need to tell him kudos for that. Boldly telling us that people who are conflicted, starting from him, somebody elsewhere, let them excuse themselves. No, it's the fact. He spoke up very clearly. People who are conflicted, let them excuse themselves from the whole process.
No, point of order, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, point of order. Honorable Speaker, on 29, imputing improper motive. The term he used, or the adjective he used, conflicted, it has a lot of meaning. I have never been conflicted in this Janet Commission report. That is wrong. What I said, those who are politically biased, If he used that term, I will accept. But he can't say that I have been conflicted. And I have not used that term on members. I said members who are politically biased, they must not, if they are nominated, be part of this report, because we need impartial members to be part of the membership. He can't say that.
Yeah, because Honorable Member Pulatukunda, you know, when I look at you, because I don't want to say certain things. Don't force me to make certain statements. Because you are always pushing me to the wall. It's not for you to determine that. It's not for you to make that determination. So why do it? Other members are all here. They are keeping quiet. Why you? And sometimes we see you as somebody we can rely on because you are a lawyer by profession. But you are always doing, you are doing all things all throughout. Please, you have a lot of people here who don't believe in what others are saying, but they are tolerant and listening. Why can't you do the same? And when you are talking, you want the assembly to be as silent as a graveyard. Please, I don't want to, please, Honorable Member Pulatukunda, please, they put your tag down. I'm not debating with you. Please. Yes, Honorable Member for Deputy Speaker, nominated member, Deputy Speaker. Yes, the Honorable Member said something. Yes, I do know that you have never been, there was no place where you were shown to be conflicted in the commission. That is true. But what did the Honorable Member say? I don't know. And I also want to add this. I heard the Honorable Member, though I was reading at the time, say that he is thanking the Speaker. I don't know what he was thanking me for. I never heard it. I want to know from, but he was not also listening. I am curious to know why he was thanking me. Because that would be very unusual.
No, I said, in fact, I proposed to organize a small party for you, but I changed my mind. Because in the morning you are doing well, but when you rule, on Sabasanjal's issue, I said, let me reserve for the party. But I thank you for talking about this Janet Commissioner's report earlier on, well before the young people went on street. So we also should say kudos to you for building concern on the Janet Commission. That's what I said. But Deputy Speaker, politically you are conflicted. You are part of the former government. You are the last minister here. This is what I mean. You cannot be part of the committee. I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but you are conflicted already. You cannot be part of it.
Honorable Member, it's not members of the last government who can be conflicted. People who stole the properties, who misused the properties, most of them, we are not members of the former government. So we cannot just say that. There are clean people who were in the former government. There are some of them who may be conflicted in this. But equally, there are people who were not in the former government who also participated and misguided people to do what they did. It cannot be attributed to one side.
Okay, no problem. Noted. Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Noted. Withdrawal. Nobody was the former minister. No. Okay, later I will see you. Honorable Speaker, on a more serious note, the power belongs to the people. And Section 25 of the Constitution, subsection D says Gambian people have right to assemble, they have to demonstrate peacefully without arms. If our youth or if our elders, for example, those in Nyomi who cannot get their money up to now from the ground, if they go to Kerewane, it's their right to go to Kerewane and demand for their money. They should not be arrested for that. This thing must be opened up. I brought a private member bill here. You did not support it, but I'm very glad today, majority leader of the House, who was strongly opposing my bill, but today, and he's coming with such an important motion. Majority leader, thank you for learning from your mistake. Honorable Speaker, This is the worst suspected economic crime so far in the history of the Gambia. From the reports that we generate now, I don't know whether we could call it a preliminary report they release. This is the worst economic crime. You cannot imagine you call President Yahya Jammeh a thief, we call him all the names, and we follow the same step of him. That's ironical. We cannot accuse him of being a murderer, we are murderers. We cannot accuse him of being a thief, and we are the...
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Central Badibu. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, what is before us is the motion for establishment of a special select committee to inquire into the sale and disposal of assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of the public bodies, enterprise, offices, and regards their dealing with former President Yahya Jammeh and connected matters. Honorable Speaker, when we look at the preamble, number 3, it is clearly stated that this commission was set by an executive in order to look at the assets of the former president. So, Honorable Speaker, when that happened, we all know that he has a lot of assets. And honorable members have been requesting about those assets. So, if the youth went out requesting for that list, I think the government should provide the list for them. If they don't want any problem, they should provide, Honorable Speaker, without arresting, Honorable Speaker. But we all know that we have right to have information. We have passed an information bill here, Honorable Speaker. Access to information. Therefore, they should be given, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I definitely condemn the government to arrest those youths. Because this thing, Honorable Speaker, this asset is not for any party. It's for the whole Gambians, Honorable Speaker. If those assets are definitely put into good use, it is going to bring something to this country. So we should not see anybody who is misusing those resources. And because of that, Honorable Speaker, we are people's representatives. We are accountable to our electorates as we do oversight on government or executive. So therefore, that's why the majority leader came up with this. Because it is a public cry. It is a public cry. And we are their representatives. So therefore, I think when we come up at this time to establish this committee, I think the committee should do justice to this. We should not do any politics on this. We should try by all means, and I'm advising those who are going to be in this committee, whoever is called as a witness to come and answer, if he or she refuses, please don't waste our time. Why you say that you want more time? Why? 120 days, you still requesting time. Whoever refuses to come and answer to you, just record it and report it to the whole house. And the law will do its course. The law will do its course. But we should not be here dragging, things at the assembly here. There are so many, inquiries which is at the assembly, and they are still not completed. They are still not completed. Anytime we say, yes, let's give them more time, let's give them more time. When are those things going to be completed? We should not be compromised.
The committee, they should work hand in hand to see that what we want to see, we see that. And Honorable Speaker, when we look at the preamble, number 8D, where you said empower the committee at any time to require for the appointment by the clerk to any individual as an advisor to the committee. Yes, it's fine. But my advice to that is it has to be somebody who will be ready to advise the committee on the right path. That person must also be somebody. Yes, despite that we don't have hand over it, but we can say to have more.
Thank you, Honorable Member, for Sami. I now invite the Honorable Member for Opanyoni.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, let me also join my colleagues to officially thank the majority leader for coming up with this important motion. A motion to establish a special select committee to inquire into the sales and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry. Honorable Speaker, we thank the majority leader for swiftly responding to the calls of the people. People cried and Parliament answered. Honorable Speaker, I think I totally agree with the time stipulated in this motion. 120 days is enough for the Special Select Committee to put all the necessary information together and report back to this Assembly. If we are serious, we can do it. Honorable Speaker, I just have an advice for those who will be opportune to be part of this particular Special Select Committee. Honorable members or those in the elected positions, I don't think we will sacrifice ourselves for anybody. I don't think we will sacrifice ourselves for anybody. Meaning, if anybody is found wanting, the committee members will not, try to cover you whatsoever. They will do what is needed to be done. I think that's important. If we are opportunity to be part of the committee, you have to work for the interest of this country. You have to work for the interest of the people. You have to make sure you do what is right. And I hope that will really happen. On that note, that's a special advice from me to those who may be opportune to be part of the committee. And thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Opanyoni. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I solidly say this. Very unfortunate. The wanted commission that we have seen, the list that was published, I call it locally as wanted, means pick and choose and give what you want. It is rather unfortunate. And the history of this country will put us in box, where a former president who had served for 22 good years, maybe what it was left was even his shoes, they wanted to auction it. The start, they wanted to auction it. Currently, you don't even owe any 10 by 10 or 5 by 5 meters in a country that he has ruled for 22 good years. And today we have seen, as Honorable Member of Lower Fuladu, what he has said. Nobody in governance wouldn't have errors. But thank God, the Speaker of the National Assembly, being in opposition in 2019, a press conference that you have organized about the looted asset that you have said, put into it that the way the commission and issues were going, it was not in line. You are vindicated. Thank you for being vindicated. The current former secretary, who had resigned, what he has echoed, he went to the media, spoke about issues. He was not listening by us as Gambians. Thank you for him being vindicated. National Assembly members, all of us, jointly together, I want to put this to the member of Olundum constituency. Honorable Speaker, if you permit me, who has said that the minister came, what questions which was asked by the minister was fully answered. I am saying to him, it's a big error. The minister came and did haphazard answers. That is March 7, 2023. He came with a list, and my question, if you permit me to go through it, is this. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister of Justice provide this August Assembly with details, compilation of total sales of former President Yahya Ejeje Jammeh land assets, Vision 2016 rice, cows, ships, tractors, cars, trucks, vehicles, furniture, gold, and any other valuable assets registered by Jammeh's name, including the sales, buyers list, prices of each sold asset. It was when the Minister of Justice came on the 7th of March 2023, gave a list, the names of the compound, and the prices only. We revolted to what he has failed the assembly. On the 10th of March, he came back and substituted a list, writing and saying that he is now redoing the other list, giving another list on the 10th of March 2023, in which he has said now, the list listed the names of the compound, the amount was listed, and the buyers were done. Where were the names who bought the cattle, who bought the ships, who bought the gold, and other valuable assets? We were left at the dark. In that darkness, members here will even point at us and saying that we are supporters. We are asking. The reason why we stood for 3 good years is what has been unearthed today. That is, however long that it will take, we will suddenly stand and ask for this. These are assets of you and me, born and not born, as Gambians. And in so doing, the youths have taken the step. Thanks to Mustafa, and I'm putting this across, my time is ending. Let's all join hands and open our eyes, watch and protect Mustafa for a diligent daughter he has did. Let's all join hands and protect the youths of also availing our failure as representative. Because what? We were more of partisans, giving names, lockup and titles, and saying he is following too much. We will follow. It was said that it is forfeited, taken. It is no more his, it is ours. Why can't we ask? And we are asking. And the committee, as what the Deputy Speaker said, I concur. If you know you are an interest group, please excuse yourself. We have arsenals that are prepared, and we will lay them here if the report is laid. I therefore submit. Salaam.
I don't know whether they want to make this a bantabaha. Drumming. Some people, they have drumming skills. They want to practice it here. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala. I now invite the Honorable Member for Joshua.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much to the Majority Leader and the journalist, Mr. Dabo, and the youth of this country, and also my party APRC. Thank you very much. And the leadership of the former the current Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there was a reason why I said this. In 2017-2018, APRC has been calling for what? Justice on Jammeh's assets. How were they seen? Who were the ones buying? Why were they selling them at that point in time? When they were in a fast track on most of his assets. His cattle were fast tracks because of what government said they cannot take care of those cattle. When an individual was doing that, how about a whole government? We are here for a reason. The youth made a reason, there's a reason why they call upon us to respond. As not as members. We failed them. They stood to say, you failed us, we are here for you. Now, the ball is now on our court now. They pass the ball on our court to do the needful. Let's do what is right. Let's see the truth and not cover each other. If Steve is affected, expose Steve as he's affected. The members who are supposed to be there, let's not oxen our life. This seat I'm sitting here, I might not be here tomorrow, but I'll be asked tomorrow when I'm a normal called Steve. When I am called a dead body, they will ask me for a reason. What were you doing? How were you governing your people? Let's stand for the truth. Let's stand for the truth. When these calls were made for a long time, people were lonely because people were together. Nobody responded. Because we were one family. They looted, they did everything because there was one family. Now there's a split. People have started crying. It's very funny. Let's cry at the right time. When it's wrong, we say it is wrong. But we cannot make wrong to be correct. If I thought it was done at that initial stage, we would not have been here today. Members were here crying, asking for questions. No response. Press conference we have made, nothing happened. What were they calling us? Or what were they seeing those people? They were meant for a reason. No! It was wrong according to what they said. How can a wrong also correct a wrong? It was wrong. We want to make it correct. Let's make it correct. Let's stand for the truth. Gambia is our own country. It belongs to nobody. It's meant for everybody, and we must stand for the truth and make sure that everything we are saying, we put it in the right way. This asset that we are saying, Honorable Speaker, I think it's very important. The committee that is coming up must be a very firm committee. Go deep into everything. Go deep into everything. We cannot sit down and look at the list that is being sent to us. You've seen figures given to you to say a vehicle costing $10 or $10,000, where a scrap vehicle at this point in time cannot even give you $10,000 on a scrap vehicle. None of vehicles that have been dry, let's stop joking. We are here for the truth, and nothing will allow us to deviate from the truth. Whether it is me, or it is Suleiman, or it is Tungara, the truth must be known. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Joshua. Honorable members, we still have a long list, and unfortunately it's time for prayers. And I observe that some people go to pray and leave us here. So what we will do, Honorable Majority and Minority Leaders, I think we can go out for break, pray, and probably have your lunch, and then we come back when? 3 o'clock. So we can now, it's now 2 o'clock, we can have break, you pray and you go for your lunch, but by 3 o'clock we should all be around. I think we are in agreement. Okay? So I will now suspend the House until 1500 hours this afternoon.